Think like rich people. Hello, everyone. I hope you are all doing great and living each day with purpose, motivation, and a burning desire to improve your life. Today, I want to share something powerful, something that has changed the life of millions of people around the world. It is an idea, a mindset, a way of thinking that can completely transform your future if you truly understand it. Commit to it and practice it every single day. This idea is simple but life-changing. Think like rich people. Thinking like rich people does not mean you must already have money. It does not mean you live in a big house, drive a luxury car, or own expensive things. It means developing the mindset that leads to success, abundance, freedom, and growth. It means adopting the habits, thoughts, beliefs, and strategies that wealthy people use to build their lives. You don't need to be rich to start thinking rich, but you must think rich to eventually become rich. Thinking like rich people starts with understanding something important. Wealth begins in the mind long before it appears in your bank account. Poor thinking creates a poor life. Rich thinking creates a rich life. Your thoughts shape your decisions, and your decisions shape your future. Many people want money, success, and a better life, but they still think with a poor mindset. They think in limitations instead of possibilities, in problems instead of solutions, in fear instead of courage, and in excuses instead of responsibility. The first step to transforming your life is transforming your mind. One of the main characteristics of rich thinking is the belief that you are responsible for your life. Rich people don't blame the government, society, their parents, or their past. They understand that life can be difficult, unfair, and full of challenges, but they choose to take responsibility anyway. They say, "It's my life, my future, and my responsibility." When you take responsibility, you gain power. When you blame others, you lose power. Poor mindset individuals often say, "I can't because of this," or "I can't because of that." Rich thinkers say, "I will find a way. I will learn. I will improve. And I will make it happen." Another difference is how rich thinkers see opportunities. Poor thinkers see risks, fear, and danger everywhere. Rich thinkers see opportunity, possibility, and potential, where poor thinkers see a problem. Rich thinkers see a chance to grow, to learn, to create, or to innovate. Let's say there is a crisis, a recession, or a difficult period. Poor thinkers panic, but rich thinkers ask, "Where is the opportunity in this situation?" Many wealthy people became successful during hard times because they saw what others couldn't see. They used their creativity, courage, and strategic thinking to find solutions. Rich thinking also involves having a growth mindset. Poor thinkers believe their skills and intelligence are fixed. They believe they cannot grow, cannot change, and cannot improve. But rich thinkers believe that everything can be learned. They believe skills can be developed, intelligence can be expanded, and success can be built step by step. They constantly read books, attend seminars, watch educational videos, and seek new knowledge. They know that education is the foundation of wealth. Not formal education alone, but self-education. They learn about money, investing, business, psychology, communication, leadership, and any skill that can help them build a better life. While poor thinkers entertain themselves, rich thinkers educate themselves. Another important aspect of thinking like rich people is having a long-term vision. Poor thinkers only think about today or tomorrow. They want quick results, instant satisfaction, and fast rewards. But rich thinkers think about the next 5, 10, or even 20 years. They understand that success takes time, effort, discipline, and patience. They are willing to work for years on something before seeing big results. They are not looking for lucky breaks. They are building solid foundations. They are planting seeds that will grow into strong trees. That long-term mindset is what helps them stay focused, disciplined, and committed even when things are slow or difficult. Rich thinkers also understand the importance of taking calculated risks. Poor thinkers avoid risks and prefer staying in their comfort zone. They fear failure, rejection, and judgment. But rich thinkers know that no success comes without taking risks. They do not take blind risks, but calculated ones. They analyze, plan, and prepare, but they are not afraid to take action. They know that failure is not the end. It is a lesson. Every failure brings new experience, new knowledge, and new strategies. To rich thinkers, failure is feedback, not defeat. Another key difference is how rich thinkers value time. Poor thinkers waste time. They spend hours on entertainment, gossip, social media, and distractions. But rich thinkers treat time like the most valuable resource in their life. They organize their day, prioritize important tasks, and invest their time wisely. They know that time lost can never be recovered. They focus on productivity, not busyness. They use their time to create, build, learn, and grow. They understand that how you spend your time determines how you build your life. Rich thinkers also think differently about money. Poor thinkers see money as something to spend. Rich thinkers see money as something to invest. Poor thinkers buy things to look rich. Rich thinkers invest in things that make them rich. Poor thinkers save only what is left after spending. Rich thinkers spend only what is left after saving and investing. Poor thinkers fear losing money. Rich thinkers fear losing opportunities. This difference in financial thinking is one of the main reasons wealth grows for some and disappears for others. Let's also talk about the people around you. Poor thinkers surround themselves with negative, lazy, unmotivated, jealous, or fearful people. People who complain, blame, gossip, and discourage their dreams. But rich thinkers surround themselves with people who inspire them, motivate them, challenge them, and support their growth. They build networks, relationships, and partnerships with individuals who have ambition, knowledge, and positive energy. The people around you influence your mindset, your decisions, and your future more than you imagine. If you want to think rich, you must surround yourself with rich thinkers. Now, another essential element of thinking like rich people is understanding the power of discipline. Poor thinkers depend on motivation. Rich thinkers depend on discipline. Motivation comes and goes. It is temporary, emotional, and unstable. But discipline remains. Discipline is doing what you need to do even when you don't feel like it. Discipline builds habits, and habits build success. Rich thinkers know that small daily actions create massive results over time. They wake up early, work consistently, plan their days, take care of their health, read daily, and practice their skills regularly. They don't wait for the right moment. They create the moment through discipline and consistency. Rich thinkers also think differently about problems. Poor thinkers avoid problems, complain about them, and feel defeated by them. Rich thinkers face problems, analyze them, and use them as opportunities to grow stronger. They believe that life becomes easier when you become stronger. They know that every problem is a teacher, every challenge is a lesson, and every difficulty is a chance to develop resilience. They don't run away from challenges. They rise to meet them. Rich thinkers also understand the extraordinary power of goals. Poor thinkers live without clear direction. They say they want a better life, more money, or more success, but they don't define exactly what they want. They don't set deadlines, strategies, or clear steps. But rich thinkers are extremely goal-oriented. They know exactly what they want, why they want it, and how they plan to get it. They write their goals, review them, and adjust them as they grow. They break big goals into smaller steps that they can work on daily. They understand that a goal without a plan is just a wish. They don't leave their life to chance. They create their future intentionally. When you start thinking like rich people, your relationship with learning also changes. Rich thinkers are lifelong learners. They do not stop learning after school or university. They learn from books, mentors, courses, mistakes, experiences, and even from people around them. They know that the mind is like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it becomes. Poor thinkers think they already know enough. Rich thinkers know they always have more to learn. This hunger for knowledge is what helps them grow faster, make better decisions, and stay ahead of others. Another important aspect of rich thinking is the belief in abundance. Poor thinkers live with a scarcity mindset. They believe there is not enough success for everyone, not enough money, not enough opportunities. They fear competition and feel threatened by other people's success. But rich thinkers believe in abundance. They believe opportunities are unlimited, success is unlimited, and wealth can be created, not just taken. They celebrate other people's success because it inspires them rather than scares them. They know that the world is full of opportunities, waiting for someone bold enough to take them. Let's talk about self-control. Poor thinkers act on impulse. They chase pleasure, distraction, and instant rewards. They buy things they don't need, waste time, and follow their emotions rather than their goals. Rich thinkers practice strong self-control. They delay gratification. They can say no to things that don't serve their long-term vision. They manage their emotions, their spending, their habits, and their time with discipline. This ability to control yourself is a huge factor in success because it allows you to stay focused, committed, and consistent. A huge difference between poor thinkers and rich thinkers is how they think about work. Poor thinkers work only for money. They work because they must, not because they love it or because it moves them toward something bigger. They trade time for money and often stay stuck in the same routine for years. But rich thinkers think about work differently. They work to learn, to grow, to create value, and to build something bigger than themselves. They look for ways to increase their value instead of only increasing their income. They focus on skills that multiply their opportunities. They understand that the more value you provide, the more income you can earn. Another key idea in the rich mindset is thinking in systems rather than tasks. Poor thinkers say, I will work hard for money. Rich thinkers say, I will build a system that works for me. Systems can be businesses, investments, digital products, skills, or anything that continues to produce value over time. Rich thinkers think about income that continues while they sleep, travel, rest, or spend time with family. They build streams of income, not just one source. They create assets that produce money instead of liabilities that demand money. Let's talk about emotional intelligence. Poor thinkers react emotionally to everything. They get angry easily, stressed easily, offended easily, and discouraged easily. Rich thinkers understand their emotions and use them wisely. They stay calm under pressure. They think before reacting. They manage frustration, fear, and disappointment. Emotional intelligence helps them handle business, relationships, leadership, negotiation, and difficult situations more effectively. This skill is more valuable than academic intelligence because it helps you navigate real life challenges. Thinking like rich people also means developing the mindset of problem solving instead of problem avoiding. Poor thinkers see problems and run away. Rich thinkers see problems and analyze them. They ask, what is the root of this problem? What can I learn from it? What is the best solution? How can this challenge help me grow? This mindset transforms challenges into opportunities and failures into stepping stones. Another powerful element of rich thinking is understanding the importance of confidence. Poor thinkers doubt themselves, doubt their abilities, and doubt their dreams. They say, what if I fail? What if I'm not good enough? But rich thinkers say, what if I succeed? What if this works? They understand that confidence comes from action. The more you do, the more confident you become. They train their mind to believe in possibilities rather than limitations. They trust their journey even when others don't. Rich thinkers also think much differently about criticism. Poor thinkers fear criticism. They get offended, hurt, or discouraged when someone judges them. But rich thinkers do not allow criticism to stop them. They understand that no matter what you do, someone will always have an opinion. They separate constructive feedback from useless negativity. Constructive feedback helps them improve. Negative comments are ignored. They know that criticism is part of success, not a sign of failure. And let's discuss decision-making. Poor thinkers make decisions based on emotions, fear, comfort, or what other people say. Rich thinkers make decisions based on logic, vision, long-term goals, and calculated analysis. They gather information, think carefully, and then take decisive action. They don't stay stuck in overthinking. They make decisions and adjust as they go. That ability to decide quickly and intelligently is a major factor in creating success. Another element is belief in possibilities. Poor thinkers always say, I can't. It's impossible. I don't have enough. Or I'm not lucky. But rich thinkers ask, how can I do this? What is the solution? What are my options? What can I learn to make this possible? This shift in questions leads to a shift in results. When you ask better questions, you create better answers. Rich thinkers also invest heavily in their skills. Poor thinkers wait for opportunities. Rich thinkers develop skills so opportunities naturally come to them. Skills like communication, leadership, negotiation, creativity, critical thinking, and financial literacy. They know that skills create confidence, freedom, and income. Skills are assets that no one can take away from you. Another part of thinking rich is understanding the power of persistence. Poor thinkers give up easily. They quit when they face difficulty. They stop when they feel tired or discouraged. But rich thinkers continue even when it's hard. They continue when others quit. They continue when results are slow. They continue when they are tired, stressed, or doubting. Persistence is the difference between wishing for success and achieving success. Let's talk about health. Poor thinkers ignore their health. They sleep poorly, eat unhealthy foods, avoid exercise, and don't manage stress. But rich thinkers know their body and mind are their greatest tools. They invest in their health because they understand that you cannot build a rich life with a weak body. They exercise, sleep well, eat nutritious food, and manage stress. They know that energy is needed to achieve greatness. Another difference is how rich thinkers view relationships. Poor thinkers try to impress people with expensive things. Rich thinkers try to connect with people through value, honesty, and purpose. They invest in strong relationships, mentorship, and partnerships. They understand that success is not built alone. It is built with people. Lastly, in this section, rich thinkers focus on what they can control, instead of worrying about what they cannot control. Poor thinkers waste time worrying about the economy, market, politics, competition, or other people's success. Rich thinkers focus on improving their skills, building their businesses, managing their time, and developing new strategies. They do not waste energy on things outside their control. Another crucial element of thinking like rich people is understanding the value of creativity. Poor thinkers believe creativity is only for artists or special people. Rich thinkers know creativity is essential for success in every field. Creativity means finding new solutions, new ideas, new opportunities, and new ways of doing things. Rich thinkers use creativity to start businesses, solve problems, design strategies, and stand out from the competition. They don't follow the crowd. They think differently, and that difference becomes their advantage. Rich thinkers also value focus. Poor thinkers try to do everything at once. They jump from one idea to another, from one job to another, from one goal to another. They lack direction, and because of that, they waste time and energy. But rich thinkers choose one direction and commit to it fully. They focus on one main goal, one main project, one main skill, and they give their full attention to it. This intense focus is what helps them achieve massive results. They know that divided attention creates divided results, but focused attention creates powerful success. Another important difference is how rich thinkers view mistakes. Poor thinkers consider mistakes embarrassing or shameful. They try to avoid mistakes, and because of that, they avoid progress. Rich thinkers see mistakes as necessary steps toward success. They expect mistakes, learn from them, and use them as experiences to improve. Every mistake makes them smarter, stronger, and wiser. They know that the only real mistake is not learning from the mistake. Rich thinkers also have a strong sense of self-belief. They don't wait for others to believe in them. They believe in themselves first. They trust their abilities, ideas, and potential. They understand that belief is not arrogance. Belief is confidence in the path they have chosen. This belief helps them continue even when others doubt them. They don't need approval from everyone. They need commitment from themselves. Let's talk about risk tolerance. Poor thinkers avoid all risks. They fear losing, failing, or looking foolish. But rich thinkers understand that risk is part of growth. They learn to manage risk instead of avoiding it. They study, prepare, plan, and then take action. They accept that success requires courage. They accept uncertainty as part of the journey. Without risk, there is no reward, and rich thinkers understand this deeply. Another characteristic is gratitude. Poor thinkers focus on what they don't have. They complain, compare, and feel discouraged. But rich thinkers practice gratitude. They appreciate what they have while working for what they want. Gratitude keeps their mind positive, focused, and strong. It keeps them humble but ambitious. It helps them stay mentally healthy and emotionally disciplined. Rich thinkers also invest in personal development. They work on their character, mindset, communication, discipline, and emotional stability. They understand that success is not only about money, it is about becoming the kind of person who can handle success. They read books, listen to mentors, evaluate themselves honestly, and constantly try to become better. They know that the stronger they become mentally and emotionally, the bigger their achievements can be. Let's talk about vision. Poor thinkers look at life the way it is. Rich thinkers look at life the way it could be. They have imagination, direction, and a clear picture of their future. They visualize their goals, their lifestyle, their achievements, and their success. This vision gives them power, energy, and motivation. It helps them continue even when the path is difficult. Another major difference is how rich thinkers manage their environment. Poor thinkers stay in places that limit them. They stay in negative environments, toxic relationships, and unproductive routines. But rich thinkers choose environments that help them grow. They choose peace, productivity, positivity, and creativity. They choose people who inspire them. They choose habits that shape their future. They choose routines that increase their power. They know that environment shapes destiny. One of the most important rich mindset traits is taking action. Poor thinkers dream, wish, and hope, but do not take action. Rich thinkers move. They act. They take steps every day. They understand that small actions repeated consistently create massive change. They don't wait for perfect conditions. They don't wait for the right time. They start now, improve as they go, and build momentum day by day. Rich thinkers also think deeply about legacy. Poor thinkers only think about today. Rich thinkers think about the impact they will leave behind. They think about how their work will help others, how their success will inspire others, and how their life will influence the world. This sense of purpose gives them strength and motivation to work harder and dream bigger. Another powerful aspect is independence of mind. Poor thinkers follow the crowd. They copy what others do. They fear being different. But rich thinkers think independently. They question, analyze, and evaluate everything. They do not follow trends blindly. They make choices based on logic, vision, and values. They trust their own judgment. And finally, rich thinkers understand the power of consistency. Poor thinkers start something and stop when it becomes difficult. Rich thinkers continue even when progress is slow. Consistency builds habits, habits build discipline, and discipline builds success. This simple principle separates average lives from extraordinary lives. Rich thinkers stay consistent long enough to see their dreams turn into reality. So in the end, thinking like rich people is not about money. It is about mindset. It is about the way you see the world, the way you handle challenges, the way you plan your future, and the way you believe in yourself. Rich thinking means taking responsibility for your life, focusing on solutions instead of problems, choosing discipline instead of laziness, choosing learning instead of entertainment, and choosing long-term vision instead of short-term pleasure. It means building habits that push you forward, surrounding yourself with people who lift you higher, and taking action even when it feels uncomfortable. When you begin to think like rich people, you begin to unlock the doors to opportunity, growth, and success. You build confidence, strength, and clarity. You start seeing possibilities that others cannot see. And little by little, step by step, your mindset transforms your life. Remember this: wealth begins in the mind long before it appears in your reality. Change your thinking, and you will change your future. Think big, think bold, think rich, and start building the life you truly deserve.